This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Covel. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion. Let's talk about what's important for you on a daily basis to make decisions. Now, of course, my bias is on the market side of things, the trading side of things. The most important piece of information that you can possibly use on the market side of the equation for decision making is price. Everything else is noise. Everything else reduces to price. All the voices, all the insights, all the fundamental data, that's all embedded in the daily price. If you can make decisions off that, you're way far ahead. That's not necessarily new for me. I say this quite a bit. It's worth the reminder, though. But I sometimes get the reminder of what I just said in unexpected ways. For example, I caught a debate on Twitter. It involved Elon Musk, the multi-billionaire founder of SpaceX and Tesla, one of the most successful entrepreneurs alive today. Now, all of that success does not mean he is perfect. It does not mean that every word he says shall go unchallenged. I've not followed him. Honestly, I've not really paid attention, other than from a distance to be very respectful in the sense that, wow, that guy's a fucking achiever. Now, of course, there is always a certain element of achieving in the super achievers and an element of luck. And I'm sure Elon Musk would say that. But look, the bottom line, the guy fucking makes stuff happen. You can't take that away from him. You can argue about everything under the sun, but that you can't argue about. And with that foundation, his opinion means something. His view is important. His process is important. How he goes about dealing with people and making decisions is important. And oh, guess what? It's terribly important that Elon Musk shows us all that anybody can do what he's done. Meaning, yes, he's a brilliant man. Yes, the engineering background. But the car industry, the space industry, give me a break. He went in and tackled fields, concepts that most people would not if they had not been trained that particular way for their entire life to go in that direction. But look, this is how entrepreneurs do it. They take risks, they take gambles, they make bets. Sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen. That's life. But again, respect goes out to the man who's leading that charge. I am not as great an entrepreneur as Elon Musk, but I'm a hell of a lot better than someone who has never been an entrepreneur. And that's a really critical point to just let sit as I dive in to this debate that I caught on Twitter. Now, I'm going to read some of these tweets, a little bit of a back and forth, just 5 or 6, but it really lays the foundation for where I want to go. Essentially, a reporter was challenging Elon Musk about his insights about the news industry. Musk is not happy and has said so that, hey, no one trusts American media, and for good reason. The first tweet that I want to read from Elon Musk, and he's talking to an NBC reporter. He looks like a very eager beaver, 20-something. I could be wrong, but some nondescript, non-important NBC reporter. Oh, that's a bias of mine. I'm saying he's some non-important reporter. Well, yes, I'm saying he's a non-important reporter. I'll get back to that in a few moments, but to start, he has zero relevance. Musk says, "You're welcome to come by SpaceX, but please stop assuming I'm against all journalists. This is not true. Something needs to be done to improve public trust in media. This NBC reporter replies, I'm for real. When was the last time you spent time with a reporter in a newsroom who was doing anything other than interviewing you? I think it's important you come by and see the process. The process. So Mr. NBC reporter has a process that we should all be respectful of. Elon Musk comes back at him. You're missing the point and living in a bubble of self-righteous sanctimony. The public doesn't trust you. This was true before the last election and only got worse. Don't believe me? Run your own poll. Mr. NBC reporter comes back. Elon, I'm asking you a question. When was the last time you were in a newsroom with a reporter who was reporting on something other than you or your companies? Just like rocket ships, first-hand knowledge is critical in knowing how to make and fix things. You really got to give this reporter guy credit, right? Somehow or another, Elon Musk, who has built a car company and a rocket company, can't fucking understand what a reporter's job is? Think about the bubble that guy's living in, that reporter. Of course, all reporters live in that bubble. If you are paid to be a reporter by some large organization, which means your daily function is to produce content on a daily basis for some large operation, come on, inconsequential. But think about what he says at the very end there. That first-hand knowledge is critical in knowing how to make and fix things. Basically, Elon Musk, who did not have rocket ship experience, did not have car experience, must go work in a fucking newsroom to find out how to make people believe in the American media more. So he needs to get inside and work and understand their process, which is obviously a shitty process, a terrible process if no one trusts it, if it's biased, if it's partisan. But this reporter thinks that's where Elon Musk should start. Now, someone else jumps into this conversation and adds a tweet, replying to that reporter's comment about first-hand knowledge. Scott Adams, the author of Dilbert, a Trump fanboy, but with very interesting things to say, very smart things to say, a very wise guy. Scott Adams jumps in saying, first-hand knowledge is critical, is the sort of advice that would have prevented Steve Jobs from creating Apple, prevented me from creating Dilbert, and prevented Musk from creating any of his businesses. Better, first-hand knowledge can be a mental prison. That really sums it up. The mental prison. Because the mental prison keeps so many people from believing, for example, as I said at the top, that price data is it. It's all embedded in that. The mental prison is everything you learned up until the point in time that you heard someone like me say, oh, by the way, have you heard of price data? And instead of saying, oh, wow, show me the evidence, you go into some song and dance about how that's not relevant. Here's what you need. And you go into full-blown cognitive dissonance just because someone pushed your button with a heavy dose of the truth. And that's where I'm always trying to go on this show. An example with Musk and this NBC reporter and Scott Adams. It's about a quest for the truth, finding out how things work. You don't find out how bad media works by going to work for bad media. You just become a lackey sucking on the nipple, getting your daily bread from some big company that you will now have to do whatever it says to do so you get the next paycheck. You can't do anything else than that. You have to say yes, sir, to an asshole every day to get your check. You're not going to change anything. And when you think about this little example that I've laid out today with the three people, Elon Musk, the NBC reporter, Scott Adams. Scott Adams not as successful as Elon Musk, but obviously he's made millions of dollars doing what he's doing. He had no background in cartooning. He figured it out, made it happen. And he makes the absolute salient point about Musk, about Jobs, and himself. If you tell me Mike Covel, that is, me, the guy talking, if you tell me Mike Covel can't write a book that explains exactly how trend following works, can't write more than one that explains exactly how trend following works, because he did not grow up on Wall Street, he did not work at an investment bank, well, I've sort of proved you wrong too. Right back to the mental prisons. How many mental prisons can you see in your daily life? Are you in the middle of a mental prison? If you can recognize that you're in the middle of a mental prison, can you escape? I mean, that's the whole point, right? If you're in a mental prison, it goes without saying that you must be on the journey to escape. If you're not trying to escape a mental prison, we're right back to 1999 and the filmmakers who made the film The Matrix. You're stuck. This is red pill, blue pill stuff. And as I talk about these three men in this story, Musk, the reporter, and Scott Adams, and I'm talking about data, how can you measure those three men? How can you measure those three men in a useful way? Scott Adams can be measured via his comic strip distribution, the money that he makes. Elon Musk can be measured, the money that he makes. The NBC reporter with the big views, trolling the billionaire on Twitter, he can't be measured. He's not in that kind of life function. Are you in a life function that can be measured? Or are you just taking the paycheck? These are important things to think about, because if you go down the path of just taking the check when you are in your 20s or 30s or even 40s, you might wake up one day in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe 90s, and see that everything went wrong based on the decision you made early on. It's a seduction that NBC reporter can have that job. He gets to feel like he's the shit. He's got the word NBC next to him. He can tweet, and in this instance, Elon Musk responded, and he gets to feel like the man. But he's not the man. He's a punk. He's a fucking punk. The world is filled with fucking punks now. I'm not trying to say that anybody should not have their point of view, their freedom of speech. I'm a classical liberal in that sense. But the guy's still a punk. Now, what I'm about to say will get a little more controversial. It will have some people perhaps like me, perhaps some people will hate me. The thinkers out there, regardless of partisan persuasion, will see my point. And the maelstrom that is the United States of America current political scene, there has been an ongoing Twitter battle also between two men. One, the current president of the United States, Donald Trump, and two, William Brennan, the former director of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. Now, one man is a billionaire elected by the people as the leader of America. You can like that, you can not like that. The political system in America keeps on going. I'm sure if people like it, he will get elected again. If people don't like it, he will lose. But if we can think back just a few years ago, before Donald Trump became president, he was viewed and respected as a billionaire businessman, a media personality. All of the crazy political stuff did not exist then. He had respect by probably a large number of people, probably over 50%. Once he went partisan in America, well, he loses all respect by 50% of the country. That's the way it goes. If Oprah ran for president, she would lose 50% respect on the other side too. That's just America. But to go ahead and say that Donald Trump is now a worthless businessman, a cheat, a liar, and all that kind of stuff on his business, and then possibly somebody would say that about Oprah too, coming from the right, well, that makes no sense. That's just dishonest partisanship, and it's pointless. But I was intrigued by the debate, the attacks between Donald Trump and William Brennan, the CIA chief, the former CIA chief. Their attacks very, very tough on each other. And I thought to myself, I know nothing about this guy Brennan. He's not Donald Trump. He's not Oprah. Like, what's this guy's background? Well, his background's no secret. Go check it out at Wikipedia. Quote, while riding a bus to class at Fordham, he saw an ad in the New York Times that said the CIA was recruiting, and he felt a CIA career would be a good match for his wanderlust and his desire to do public service. That's it. That's the guy's background. The director of the CIA is basically a career bureaucrat hired on early into a large government agency and spent 20 plus years there moving up the ladder. I don't see any difference with the NBC reporter, but I see a lot of difference with Elon Musk and Scott Adams and Oprah and Donald Trump. I look at William Brennan and I look at the NBC reporter and I see the same thing. People moving up bureaucracy, spending their time in bureaucracy attached to a name. The name being NBC. Oh, he must be important. CIA. Oh, he must be important. Then you get inside and you look at their backgrounds and they've done abso-fucking-lutely nothing in their life except move up the bureaucracy chain. Why should I respect those people? I've got limited time on this planet. I'm going to respect the achievers, the risk takers, the people that make things happen. The Elon Musks, the Oprahs. I think I know Oprah's politics. I'm probably not on the same page with her. I don't know Musk's politics. I guess I should have looked it up before this podcast. But I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, I respect like hell the entrepreneurial and business savvy of both Musk and Winfrey. They are both mega achievers. What I don't respect are career bureaucrats moving up the ladder, attaching their name to some label, and then coming out. Here's the drum roll, please. Coming out with absolutely nothing except opinion. No data that we can use. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now you might be wondering, where are you going with all this, Mike? It gets back to my very top point about trend following. What's so amazing about the trend following strategy, the trend following mindset, is to reduce the information flow you have in your life down to something manageable. Listening to the NBC reporter, listening to the former CIA director is not manageable. It's a waste of time. It's mental masturbation. If I want to be an entrepreneur and launch a TV show or launch a magazine, Oprah Winfrey can teach me everything I need to know. It goes without saying that if I want to know about the car industry or the rocket industry, Elon Musk is the man. And if I want to learn about comic books, Scott Adams has some insights. And if I want to learn about developing, and I think half of America has forgotten about this, real estate development, I can learn something from Donald Trump. I can learn a lot of things from the NBC reporter and the CIA director, but there are things that I don't want to know. I don't want to know about moving up bureaucracy. That's not respectful. I have one life. You have one life. We want to find ways to measure people and things so that we can optimize our time spent. And if somebody is in your life, in your ear, and you can't measure them, and they're just pontificating, hiding behind some label, you got to turn them off. The word salad is not helping you. I'm sure sometimes people listen to my rants, to my riffs, and they don't see the connection. But there really is a connection. It's just clear thinking. Absolute clear thinking. How does the world work? The world works because individual people take chances. They want something more, and they push and they push and they push and they kick ass. And sometimes big things happen. Sometimes there's failures. Sometimes absolutely enormous things happen. That's the way it goes. But do me a damn favor. Just do me a favor. Before you come, sit down and have a beer with me. If you're working in a bureaucracy, media, politics, government, leave. You'll be happier for it. I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.